What's going on, man? It's Abdurrahman Yassin with the Your Heard Now You're Seeing podcast. I'm here, man, with some special guests. Got my pops on the podcast. Episode one. Today we're going to be talking about, life in college and Division One sports as a Muslim. We're going to dive right into it. Pops, let's take it over.
Yes, sir. Well, let's start by, introducing everybody here. I'm gonna go to the right of the screen. Brother Amr, you want to give us your name? I think I'm still not pronouncing that right, but let's roll it. Let's roll it out.
It's all good. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Amir Amir. I'm a Muslim and um, football athlete here at University of South Florida in Tampa, Florida. Um, I was born in Orlando, Florida. My parents were born in Ohio, but my grandparents migrated here from Palestine, or known as Palestine, due to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Um, I've been here my entire life in Florida, and I enjoy it here. And yeah, I'm 20 years old. I've been playing football for God knows since about eighth grade. I started actually kind of late compared to everybody else. Um, I'm a redshirt junior upcoming in this season. This is my
What position?
going on fourth season in college football, and I'll be playing as a linebacker.
Linebacker.
And we have Sanusi Kane. Tell us a little
Yeah,
bit about yourself, man.
yeah. My name is Sanusi Kane. I'm from Harlem, New York. Uh, I was born a Muslim. My parents both migrated here from Mali, which is in West Africa. Started playing football between seventh and eighth grade. Ended up going to Purdue University. Played 4 years there. Uh, Jumped a lot of positions. Played corner. Played free safety. Played in the box, and now I declared for the NFL draft, so you'll be seeing me on Sundays soon.
All
Alhamdulillah,
right,
inshallah.
all right. And
Uh,
now you heard, now you've seen whatever. What? Tell us your story, sir.
my name is Abdurrahman Yassin, man. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I went to Wall Lake Western High School back in the burbs of Metro Detroit. Play wide receiver. I was born a Muslim. Um, that's pretty much it. I mean, now I was at Purdue. Went to Purdue. Transferred to U.S. South Florida recently. So I'm down here now in Tampa, Florida, with my guy Amith. So we're gonna come take over, man. So
All right, all right. Amr, man, you said you've been playing this your fourth year in college football.
Going on to my fourth year, yes, sir.
So you're only 20 years old, man. When you started
Yes,
playing
sir.
college football, there?
I was 17 years old. I started school a little bit early.
Okay,
Um, so yeah, I started my true freshman year at the age of 17.
okay. So tell us a little bit, man. What are some of the challenges you faced as a student athlete, Muslim student athlete, practicing Islam? What are some of the challenges you've experienced as a student athlete throughout the years?
Um, I think the most challenging thing would be during the month of Ramadan. That'd probably be one of the most challenging things I've ever done, especially this upcoming season. Um, I mean, alhamdulillah, I had Abdurrahman with me. And, we got through it together. Yeah, a lot of convincing, a lot of support, um, a lot of help from our dietitian and our and the people that, like in the facility that supported us with this. Like truly, it was a lot of help. Um, but I mean, other than that, there haven't been a lot of conflictions. Just that, and then during the season, on Fridays, we gotta leave to go travel to go play some teams on Saturdays. So going to be able to go to Jummah prayer isn't really like is it really like there? It's not really like seen as something that I'm able to go do because we're leaving around noon. And Jummah starts at 1:30. So,
Hmm.
but I mean, Allah knows best. Allah is the most sufficient and most merciful, and He's also the most forgiving. So, inshallah, he sees what the amount of stress and workload we go under, and He knows what's in our hearts.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. No
The
doubt.
uh, the travel is something that is definitely permissible for the Muslims on Jummah.
Alhamdulillah.
So is then obviously when you travel, the Jummah prayer is not required as a traveler, but it's best, especially if you travel, you know, early in the day and then you're traveling during the Jummah time. Then you would either combine Dhuhr and Asr at the time of Dhuhr, or you would combine Dhuhr and Asr at the time of Asr. That's concession in Islam for that. But and sometimes it's very difficult, for that. I'm just wondering
Yeah.
how Sanusi. I know you guys. Sanusi's been traveling, since he's been there at Purdue. I know, so he's traveling every week. So tell us about your experiences sometime with that. Huh?
Uh, my experience really, like, I had to talk to my dad about it a lot. Just because obviously traveling, you trying to figure out what time you got to pray at. Um,
Right.
do be during the time you got to travel, so you got to try to uh you don't want to rush the prayer, but you on a certain time frame that you can pray in. So like that really is probably it's like more like I would say like inconvenience sometimes, like
Hmm.
trying to pray in a certain time frame, and they're trying to like get and they're on a schedule too. Like everybody's on a schedule, so that's probably like one of the most challenging things you got to face as a Muslim. Just trying to stay on schedule, praying on time. Um, but like you said, Ramadan is probably the most challenging time, just
Hmm.
because it's only going to be. At Purdue, we lucked up. It was I think maybe like five of us last year that
Mm-hmm.
were
Hmm.
all observing Ramadan together. So like that's a lot of group really for a college football team. But everybody once you tell them the month of Ramadan and how everything goes, like they're super helpful. Like everybody's gonna make sure that you eat on time, you have what you need, your prayer time, you can pray at your prayer times and everything. So I think that's probably the most that was the happiest time, just because you see people that are not Muslim helping somebody else that's observing their
Yeah.
religion.
Yeah.
So like
Very.
that was wonderful for me. And also like the Juma prayer is also is going to be it's hard to do it,
Yeah. Yeah.
just
Yeah.
because we got traveling. Sometimes you might have practice on Fridays. This past year it wasn't that difficult because we were practicing in the morning, so we were able to get to Juma prayer on time. But yeah, those are really the more challenging things. And then just people understanding the religion and how we go about certain stuff, like
Right.
making sure that sometimes they make jokes about the pork thing, but like understand that pork is not the only thing that is like a sin and the Islamic religion. So just having people understand the culture.
Yeah. Man, you've been doing it for a long time too. I mean.
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna talk about Ramadan in depth a little more, but later. But I think for me, the most challenging thing to deal with is the people have and the lack of understanding. You know what I mean? Because it's considered different. So I'm gonna kind of hit on your last point, Sanusi. You know what I mean? Because if you don't understand truly your faith as well, you might have difficulties explaining to other people why you do certain things. Because a lot of times, like most coaches and programs will be, you know what I'm saying, they will understand and they will adjust to what's going on. But if you don't know how to communicate it, that can be challenging. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm.
coach, I gotta go pray Juma every Friday at this such and such time. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, like I haven't had any issues with it, or whatever it may be. Like during Ramadan, where they're making, they're helping us out, by changing the lift schedule or having us, lift before we start fasting and stuff like that. But I think the challenge really is or was for me the biggest thing was being able to explain these things because they want to know, like they want to know what Eid al-Fitr is, they want to know what Eid al-Adha is, why you celebrate it, stuff like that because what I'm saying, like so they know that you serious, so they know that, what I'm saying. So I think
Yeah.
for me that was kind of the biggest thing was just understanding and being able to explain to people what it is that we do and why we do it.
Mm. Yeah, that's very important because they're not going to be able to read your mind, and they definitely aren't familiar enough with the religion to know, other than the fact, oh, I think the Muslims are, fasting this month, I believe.
Yeah.
It's up to you to let them know exactly what you want to do, what you need to do, what you need to happen, and so forth. But
Right.
I understand. This kind of brought me to the next point. I that the man mentioned the fast pace of the offense there, and they were it's like a constant movement and so forth, and it took it took an adjustment on that point because I know you've been fasting since you were a little boy, and I remember taking him out of football game. We had to pray. He had to pray us. I don't even remember that game over there. We took him. We went by the fence and we had to pray, and then we jumped back in the game. But
That had been deep, right?
it gets like that sometimes, and that was as a young boy, we kind of laid the foundation a little bit, and what's most important. But yeah, so you talked about the dietary accommodations, but what about the other adjustments that you had to make, Abdurrahman, with that?
As far as what exactly?
Well, in terms of practice, maybe repetitions, the
Yeah,
workload,
yeah,
all the
no doubt.
different things of that nature, I believe, right?
Yeah, so that's definitely an adjustment, because obviously you're malnourished, you're not as nourished as you were, and you kind of have to do a lot of things early in the morning, whether it's forcing yourself to eat or forcing yourself to drink when you don't want to drink and stuff like that before the fast starts, or just different, uh, hydration options in terms of because they have stuff out there like drip drop and liquid IV that helps a lot, salt water stuff like that. Making sure you're eating fruit in the mornings. There are different things that can help you, and then but just really being able to utilize those things. And I mean, from that point, it helps you get to the practice, but I mean, obviously, it's not the same still. So you talk about just not taking as many reps. I mean, that's something that you're gonna have to communicate with the coach. You know what I mean, and go from there. And that's also another issue because they don't necessarily understand because they never done it before.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Let me backtrack and go another direction because I remember when you two when you started college football. I mean that's Sanusi day one. You know,
Yeah.
what was it like for you guys to step on campus as Muslims, man? For the first time. I mean, and as a football player, everybody's all the girls around. What I mean. Talk to me about it. Then how do we hold on to faith, and how do we, what do we do here, fellas? Tell me,
Uh,
talk to me a little bit.
this is funny because me and my mom was talking about this the other day. I think it's probably going to college and going away for college was probably the best thing for me
Hmm.
because especially when you're born a Muslim, a lot of the times your parents tell you what to do, but you gotta. I think for everybody, you gotta find the religion yourself. You gotta find what's important about the religion for yourself. So like,
absolutely,
and I think college was when I really truly understand what Islam was about, and that helped me get to where I'm at today. Because all those distractions, I didn't like having Islam in my life. Like they weren't distractions anymore. Like
Hmm.
I can focus on what I needed to focus on, which is the religion, which is school, and which is football. So
Yeah.
like, and those three things, like, there's nothing better than those three things. Now I'm done with school, so now I'm just focused on football and the religion. So, um, that I think, yeah, like I said, going to school was the best. Going to school, away from home, was the best thing that happened to me. Just because Islam is something that you got to find for yourself, and once you find it for yourself, it'll never leave you. But you got to find it for yourself, and that's why I think a lot of the times when people convert to Islam, they're better Muslims than people that are born Muslim because they don't find it for themselves. They just listen to what everybody says and they just do what everybody does. But once you find it for yourself, it helps out tremendously.
Yeah. I mean, what was your experience walking on campus? I remember the first time.
Oh man. So similar to what Sanusi said, like my parents sat me down before I came to college. They're telling me the possible risks because being born Muslim. My entire life I kind of was raised a different way. Steer away. I mean, the ultimate goal for any parent is to steer their kid away from like uh, potential like harm. Keep
Mm-hmm.
them on the right track. But as a Muslim, it's like engraved within our religion. Not to fall. You know, on the wrong path. It's always stay on the right path. But most importantly, stay close to Allah. Like never forget Him. So, coming to college as a person that was born Muslim, is you know, it's very similar to what Sanusi said. Like there was a lot of temptation. There was a lot of things that were in my life at the time uh, that didn't have my parents around to tell me, hey, stay away. But my entire life I was raised that way, so it wasn't hard to stay away from it. But I could see what it would all do to people. I can see what it would do to my friends, and it steered people away from what the ultimate goal of us coming to college was for, to get our degree and to play some football.
Mm-hmm.
So you know and I'm not perfect. No one's perfect, but
Right.
at the end of the day, I always found myself coming back to Allah. Subhanahu wa ta'ala, like I always found myself coming back to what my ultimate goal was. Why my reason is why my reasoning to be here is
Mhm.
like what I'm representing, not just for me, but for my family, and having the Ahmed last name.
Yeah.
Not representing just my family, but my people. There's not a lot of Palestinian Division One football players in the United States,
Uh,
No.
let alone Arabs. So
That's true.
Alhamdulillah, just everything that I've learned from and everything that I've been taught to do, and raised to do it's been applied now, and I feel like I'm at that age now where I'm able to make those right from wrong decisions, and I can see why. I want to be a part of something bigger. I want to be on the right path, and yeah, that's about it.
Alhamdulillah. Man, day one
yeah,
campus, man. I remember when we dropped you off. What was it? The High Vine? Was
the
that
high,
was
Yup.
that it? High
Oh
Vine.
God. Yup.
Yeah.
no
I
doubt,
mean, it
no
was
doubt.
something else, man.
Man, it was an adjustment, but I think for me, I think and it's a credit to you as a father. I think I was raised very strongly in terms of faith and stuff like that in the Dean. So but at the same time, like there's a lot of things that your parents preach, that they try to advise you to stay away from, but you don't really understand until it's right in front of you, and you're like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and it's so easy to get caught up in it, whether it be, teammates that want to hang out with you and, smoke and drink or whatever, or, go to the club or whatever it is, but now you kind of like, okay, you gotta understand kind of what Sanusi said, like you have to kind of figure out for yourself what kind of person you want to be in terms of like religiously, you know what I mean? And you that's kind of like it was really a bigger test because like pops wasn't there, moms wasn't there, nobody coming to save you. Like it's just you, and only Allah knows everything. He sees you. You know what I'm saying? So now it's a really big adjustment because you kind of really find out who you are in college when you're away from your parents. You know what I mean? And I would say, I think I'm a better person now. You know what I'm saying? In terms of it's been 4.5 years, 5 years since that day. So uh, I would say that all the ups and downs or whatever it was. I mean, I think I'm a better person now, and I know exactly who I am. So
You're a
No.
more talkative person now.
Yeah, he's definitely more talkative, right?
When I first met him, he didn't want to talk to nobody. I was like,
no, and that too because I mean I was homeschooled, man, and high school was a big adjustment for me too. Like You know what I'm saying? And getting dropped off at school. I ain't never came across talking to the opposite gender before ever for anything. You know what I'm saying? Besides my sister, my mother, and my aunties or family. Now I got to talk to the teacher. I got to talk to this girl who's trying to talk to me and stuff like that. And I didn't know how to deal with none of that. You know what I'm saying? So, and then the only thing you remember is pops like, hey man, don't be talking to girls, don't be doing that. Like that's the only thing you know. You don't know how to like actually maneuver yourself in the world because I didn't have that experience. So a lot of that was new, and then I kind of had to just figure it out. In terms of who I was and what kind of person I was going to be. So the reason I'm
Yeah.
talking more now is because of the last 4 years. You know what I'm saying? I know how
Your
to.
one of your high school coaches told me, your math teacher and high school coach. He told me yesterday. I was at Ann Arbor. He told me that you had thanked him for turning your life around, your high school life, in terms of getting through algebra one, I believe it was, or whatever.
Yeah, no, I
And
was,
and 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 he said to me, he said, it wasn't me, it was you, your decision that you made, to want to learn and to be the best and to live according to your principles, man.
no, that's
That's what
that's.
he said.
I'm gonna shout out to Coach Wisecoff on the podcast. Man.
So he got you to algebra one and so forth. Huh?
I
Yeah.
was struggling, man. I went from like hating math, thought it wasn't for me, thought I wasn't good at it, to getting the A in algebra, getting the A in geometry, getting the A in calc. You know what I'm saying? Taking calc one in college, getting the A. You know what I'm saying? Like, so big shout out to
Yeah.
him, man. You know?
Yeah. Have you? I know Sanusi and Abdul, you guys are graduated. I mean, what's your major? What are you studying right now?
Um, so I'm kind of like it was kind of an all over the place kind of thing.
Okay.
So I first came to college trying to do mechanical engineering.
Oh yes,
Oh
Now
man.
with that uh, um, with that I okay I was I was smooth sailing for about 2 years, and then I started running into some trouble with some classes being at the same time as practice in the morning.
Okay. Wow.
So then eventually I got to the part of my schedule where I couldn't move forward within my degree without taking these classes that were in the morning, and I got stuck. So I decided, talk with my family, decided to move to physics. Um, that was during the season. That was not a good decision. Physics is insanely hard. Um,
Mm.
and then I went from being finishing all my math classes like Calc 1, 2, 3, and differential equations, and then now I have to take more math classes, and I'm like, nah, I'm good, bro. So I went over to physical science, and it's similar to physics, but it's it's not like on that rigorous scale. So I'll be graduating this upcoming fall, inshallah.
Oh, beautiful. Alhamdulillah. That's good. Alhamdulillah. So tell me, have you guys ever experienced any pressures or expectations from the Muslim communities at your university? I mean, wanting you to come and maybe speak or give time or give, work in community service or anything like that, or is that something you guys just did naturally, or just it didn't the time allotment wasn't there for you to do that kind of stuff? I mean,
Well, I think I can speak on this. Um, I was kind of a little bit more involved than probably Sanusi in terms of because I had kind of got to know some of the MSA people at Purdue and stuff like that. Building relationships with them, and they kind of look at you different. It's kind of like a celebrity in their eyes a little bit. They kind of bro, like but I mean, there wasn't really any pressure, you know, but it's kind of an interesting environment, when you dedicate your life to something towards the dunya, and also you're practicing Muslim people. You kind of look at it a little different.
mm, that's good. That's good. That's good. How about you, Amr Sanusi? Anybody? You have any? You had any interactions with the Muslim student population there, or the
Yeah,
board
no,
or anything?
I definitely had interactions. Thing about me is like I think I'm an approachable guy, so like But I never really had no pressures, no nothing. Um, I'll say more so pressure at home. I'll say that. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's probably just because like everybody seen how me grow up, so it's like now it's like you kind of got the pressure of like representing. It's just a representation thing. Like you got to uphold the standard that you got to live by. So that's the
Mm-hmm.
only pressure really. But if you live in the right way, that's not really pressure. So um that's the only thing that I can say that really that just being the pressure of being like from Harlem, from New York, being Muslim, being African, all that at the same all that rolled in one, that's kind of like the pressure of just making sure that I'm at the tip top shape every time I step outside the house and make sure that I represent everybody the right way.
Mm. How about you, Amr?
Um, I wouldn't say that I felt any pressure from the Muslim community. Um, I mean, the community itself is very understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, it can get strict at times, but that's with just upholding your deen, what and your ummah. But I've never felt really any pressure with having to come and do events or work or come and give a speech or something that they want. Um, if anything, I've felt like I was missing out on a lot of the things.
Okay.
So it'd be like I'd feel more um, not guilty but left out. With the schedule of a student athlete, and I mean I've been like in touch with a lot of the SJP and the Arab organizations here at the University of South Florida. SJP is Student Justice for Palestine. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so they hold events and all these protests and stuff. And a lot of the time I can't really make it to any of that stuff because with the football scheduling and then possible political conflictions with getting into that deal, and
Yeah. Right. Right.
something I kind of want to steer away from while I'm still working on my career.
Mm.
What about like maybe people who didn't like people in the Muslim community that maybe didn't like the idea of you being an athlete? Any experiences like that? Because I've definitely dealt with some people that kind of, oh, you play football, brother, give you that look, nod their head a little bit, you know what I mean? Because they know what it entails, or they think they know what it entails. And a lot of times it's being with, you know, around a group of people because you're around people who aren't practicing the same faith as you almost 24/7, you know. So essentially, you're the sum of the people you hang around, and those are the people that you spend the most time with because out of necessity, though. But anything like that, where a person or group of people in the community may have kind of, ah, brother, I don't know about that.
Nah, I ain't never had that. I ain't. Nah, I didn't even know that was going on. You might have to expand on that because I didn't even know that's going on. Like I ain't never really experienced that. People just say, but I get it though. I get why. It's almost like stereotyping. You're a football
Yeah,
player, so a certain mold
Right.
that people think that you come from. So, you feel me? Like, but like I said, like, and it's part of the religion that a lot of us like I think it's hard for a lot of us to like we a lot of us in the Muslim community judge other people in the way they practice religion when we're not
Mm-hmm.
supposed to. We gotta leave that to them and their relationship with Allah. Leave
mhm.
everybody else's, you feel me, how they practice the religion at that's their relationship with Allah. We gotta just focus on ours. So I think that's the only thing I say, but I've never faced that. Everybody always encourages me when they find out I play football.
Alhamdulillah.
I
So
got you.
the coaching staff, uh, supportive. I would assume, right? Supportive of all you guys and everything you had to do, or any kind of you know thing related to the redeem. that you had to kind of go to and so forth. I know there's one time that we wanted to get Abdurrahman home for Eid and so forth. And when and he had to come. He had to go back. He was home. Then he had to come back, and then I mean, I think it was during the COVID time too. It was kind of a little
Oh, I
challenging
remember
there.
that. I remember that.
Do you remember
I
that?
remember that. Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, I said, well, you got to go back then, son. I guess, but but for the most part, I thought it was pretty good. What did you guys think? I mean, what?
I mean that goes along with, like I said in the beginning. I mean, it's just being able to explain and communicate what's going on, and I think for the most part they will understand. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? But it has to kind of all make sense. The story has to line up. The more because I think like a lot of people, especially in America, they have respect for the religion because it's of the discipline that we have, towards it. You know what I mean? How many people would ever just fast and not eat food for 30 straight days? You know what I mean? In general, like people wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, the daily prayers, the things you're supposed to do, the way you're supposed to act, and stuff like that. So people have respect, but a lot of time people just don't know and they're negligent, or they just like a lot of people, you know, haven't. It might be the first time somebody has ever met a Muslim before, when we were there. You know what I mean? So it just depends.
Well, it sounds like you gentlemen representing Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. That's beautiful, man. That's a beautiful thing. Anything else you guys have?
No,
That's good. That's cool,
yes,
man.
man.
It's good. It's good to see. Hopefully, we wish you well, Sanusi, in the NFL draft coming up this week.
Yeah, thank you.
Inshallah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
Inshallah.
got some questions for you guys.
All
Yeah,
right.
a couple questions. In what ways does Islam, your religion, kind of affect or you know influence your approach to football? Like in terms of mindset, stuff like that. Whether it be pregame, practices, stuff like that. Kind of hit on that a little bit.
I think for me, one thing I gotta do, I gotta read Ayatul Kursi before the game start. Like if I don't read it, it's over. Like
Okay.
I might not even try to play the game. Like
So that's car, the dicker. Yeah, I
like
hear
yeah,
you.
Yeah, I say it
I
three
gotta read
times,
Ayatul
bro.
Kursi, bro. Like that's I think that was
Very important.
Syracuse game. We read it together up there. That was Syracuse game. We both went crazy. That was
Yeah, you
we
did. You
both
did
went
kind of go
crazy that
crazy that game.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
Yeah.
both went crazy that game. That's
we,
yeah,
we
that's one
went
thing.
we went in a tunnel reading the Ayatul Kursi together.
Yeah,
That's
now
good.
that was
That's good.
we got that's one thing I gotta do. Like my mom, she on my head before the game. If I tell her I got a game that day, she said make sure you read Ayatul Kursi. So like I gotta do that. Yeah, like before the game.
That's
That's
actually something you should do in every morning and every evening.
Oh yeah, no,
One of
I
the
do that. I do
traditions.
that all the
Yeah.
time, like just
Yeah.
in general. But like
No.
specifically before the game,
For the
like
game, man.
I won't even feel right going out,
I hear
going
you.
out before, kickoff or anything like that.
How
No,
about you, Amr? You have any something that you folk before you go into battle? you know.
Uh, I have a whole process. So the night before, I'm in the hotel room, and as soon as I get to my hotel, I put my things down and I pray two rak'ahs, and
Alhamdulillah.
then for Maghrib and Isha, I go and pray the regular three and four, and then at night, like towards at midnight, I pray another two,
The Qiyam,
and
huh?
then
Okay. Yeah.
in the morning Fajr, Dhuhr, I pray. I try to squeeze it in because we're like on that tough like regimen
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
I try to squeeze it in, especially like right before pregame meals if we have like a late afternoon game, and then what else? And then right before the game, the first thing I do is I go and get taped, and then I go and make wudu, and then I go and pray my two rakat before the game, and then I bring my Quran with me too. Like I'm reading that the night before, and then
Alhamdulillah.
literally right before we go out in the field, I'm reading the Quran, and I'm listening to the Quran, and then I'm saying dua, and I say ayatul kursi. I say it 3 times.
Yeah.
I say it 3 times because if I do it one time, I'm like, okay, one time is good. 2 times you can't because you have to have an odd number.
Dude, I
So
never go
I go
on,
and do
go
it three
on,
times,
Yeah.
go
and
on.
by the time I'm done with everything and my mouth's dry, I drink some water and then I go out and play.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
No, no doubt. For me, man, you know, I do, I do a lot. I meditate before the game. So obviously, outside the prayers, I meditate, visualize stuff like that, and then right up into the game or right up until we, kick off. I'm doing the ayatul kursi the same, just like you guys, and I'm also, like, cause I wear a lot of eye black game day. You know what I'm saying? So I put the cool S weight. I don't know if y'all know what that is, but I wear
Ah, yeah, the cool. Yeah.
that
I
that,
want to
that
I want to start wearing that.
because they say that it helps protect the eyes from the sun and stuff like that. So I wear
Alhamdulillah.
that, to help out with the vision, improve the vision. So I catch the football. I
That's
got to,
good.
you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Alhamdulillah. Well, that's
okay,
good. That's good. Will you have anything else, Abdurrahman?
yeah, just some final thoughts, man. Before you guys get off. If you don't have anything, it's cool. But like, have you guys encountered any misconceptions or stereotypes about Islam in the world of sports, and kind of give some thoughts, or just kind of clear up those stereotypes? You have the platform to speak about it. Whoever it could have been somebody, you don't got to say his name or whatever, but just something that you want the world to know, or the people in the world of sports to know that they may assume or stuff like that.
Um, yeah, I think I can take it first on this one. There are a lot of stereotypes of being Muslim. I think one of the biggest ones that I've constantly heard was the people associating the religion of Islam with Hinduism.
Mm,
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a very different barrier, and there's no disrespect for any of them. I have nothing bad to say about anyone, but there's a big difference since Islam is very much an
yeah.
Abrahamic religion. We believe in one God alone. Um, so it's nothing in any similarity with Hinduism. Um, Another would be the big pork thing. Um, they they want to ask if I'm able to eat anything else, like, or they'll mix it with beef too. That kind of goes back to the Hinduism thing. They'll be like, so you can't eat beef or any meat.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just pork. It's actually in the Old Testament, but it's all good.
Just not just a lack of understanding. People do that as well with
No,
meat.
definitely,
They
definitely.
don't.
Yeah,
They
Yeah,
think you don't eat.
they don't think we eat meat at all. I said no, we eat meat. We eat meat.
yeah.
We eat
And
halal
then
meat. Yeah.
man, I think a big like ooh ah moment, like the light bulb was when during Ramadan they ask so you can't eat or drink anything, and then I'm like nah, they'll be like not even water.
Right. Not
I'm
even
like
water. That's
no,
it. That's the thing.
Not even
no,
the
not
water.
even water.
That's the biggest one right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
They're like
That's it. Right. No
so
water.
you can't
No
eat
water.
when the sun's out. I'm like nope, not when the sun's out. So it's just like I mean, but it's like it never bothers me at all. I love curiosity. I'm a very, very curious person myself. I
Yeah,
love
that's good.
questions, and I love just the gift of free will and wondering, just wonder.
How about you,
Yeah.
Sanusi?
I think a common misconception is that I think a lot of Christians don't understand how
It broke up, didn't
this.
It's-
You hear me?
yeah. Well, it's froze up on the. There you go.
Yeah,
There you
can you
go.
say
Uh,
that?
Go
yeah. I was saying that a lot of Christians don't understand that our religions is similar. Like we believe in what they call Jesus. Like we believe in him. He's a prophet in Islam. Like
now.
so, just I think that's a common misconception that I think a lot of Christians don't understand about the religion. Like our religions
it?
are
Yeah,
similar.
no, definitely. To
Um,
add to that, I mean,
and if you
they
go read the
like
Old
some of them
Testament, a lot of
don't
the things that are
believe
in the
that we
Old
like.
Testament
They don't think that we believe
are
in Jesus at all. You know what I'm saying? Like
Jesus is the name of Jesus.
when in fact, he is significant in
yeah,
in the religion of Islam. You can't be a Muslim without believing in Jesus. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Because they in our faith, we believe he had the same message as all the prophets. You know what I'm saying? To worship one God. So that's one thing for sure. That, and then also another thing to add on that too is I think a lot of people they don't understand. That Islam is really a monotheistic religion, or you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
You believe in one God, and right. So, and then sometimes they would assume like we treat Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam the same as Jesus in their religion. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't worship Prophet Muhammad. We believe,
no. No.
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? That's one big thing that I think they don't understand for sure.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. Well, yeah, man, we appreciate you all coming on, man, this afternoon, this evening. I know you guys got a lot of stuff going on. It's tough sometimes, man. You guys schedules are really more difficult and more tight than most working folks, man. you know,
Yeah.
you know.
No,
But
no, no.
again, Sanusi wish you well with the upcoming draft and man, I'm on you guys your upcoming season, and
Absolutely.
hopefully we get to talk to you again about in the future,
Oh
inshallah
yeah,
ta'ala.
sure, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Anything else, guys? Any last questions, comments, concerns? Anything you want to let people know about you, whatever?
Yeah. I just want to say, I want like I don't know, I'm coming from when we first got to Purdue. I'm actually so happy about this. I'm sure like you understand. Like me seeing it, you came a long way, man. Like, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Yo, there was a time where I was the only person he would talk to.
Oh yeah,
There
yeah,
was a time
yeah.
I was
I
the
I
only person he would
kind
talk to.
of saw that evolution a little bit, man.
Yeah, like, and it's
And
just like now,
now he's going into mass communications now, man. Can you
yeah,
believe
like that's
it?
Now, now he has to
I'm
talk.
so happy for him.
From
Like
business management, business analytics, and now he's gonna be a mass communication guy. The guy that didn't talk at all, you know.
yeah,
Yeah.
like he could talk. Like a lot of people didn't know that when we was at Purdue at first, he's
yeah,
funny.
yeah.
Like this
Oh
guy's
yeah.
one of the funniest guys I ever met. Like so, it's just like I'm happy that you're doing this, man. Like, and I knew I was once you told me you was having a podcast, I told him I had to come on because it's just great. It's great to see this, man. It's great to see this. Alhamdulillah, man.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Well, look forward to following you guys' career, man.
Yes,
During
sir.
football and even after football and so forth.
Yeah.
Inshallah ta'ala.
No
That's
doubt.
all for me, man.
Mhm.
Yes, sir, man. Appreciate you guys for listening, man. You heard, now you seen. Episode one, the introduction, to the religion, to the lifestyle that we're a part of right now. Um, like I said, stay tuned.
All right. Salam